What's up, everybody? You tuned in to another episode of Prison Talk live stream. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Shout out to everybody who subscribed to the channel, everybody who's been representing, supporting us throughout the years. Shout out to all our super chat members, Tony the Greek, Daniel Yakubian. Hey man, shout out to both of y'all, man, for becoming super chat members. We appreciate it. Everybody, we thank you guys for making us one of the dopest shows on YouTube. We want to keep bringing you dope content. Hopefully you guys have been checking out all the interviews. You hit the bell so you get your notifications. We've been having some really good content. And we're going to stay producing some dope content. We're going to start doing a lot more lifestyle stuff, keeping you guys entertained with just living life, man. Enjoying life and, life after the penitentiary. It's not about all being in jail. Some lame hit me up and made a comment about why are you talking about having nice stuff? Or why are you talking about buying stuff? Let's talk about jail. Well, you're a bum. Nobody wants to live like a fucking bum. That's what life's about, is having nice shit, but going about getting it the right way. You dumb motherfucker. Why the fuck you want to sit around and gossip about a bunch of losers in prison all day rather than people in prison I talked to were trying to figure out when they got out how to fucking make money? So when you're around people like that who knock you because you want nice stuff and you want to live a good life, get the fuck as far away from them as possible. Get away from fucking haters, man. You know what I mean? Nothing's wrong with having nice clothes, wanting a nice house, wanting to drive a nice car, wanting to have a nice wife, wanting to live a good life, travel. That's what life's about. It's not about hanging around telling war stories about beating motherfuckers up and prison rape. That's not what the fuck life is about. So for the losers who are into that shit, get the fuck off the channel. We don't want you. Check out the website, www.FreshOutSeries.com. A lot of cool shit on the website. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff jumping off for the holidays. We're still trying to reach that 500,000. When we reach that 500,000, we're giving away $1,000. And when we hit that, that 500,000, the second place, we're going to give away a flat screen and then also a commissary bag. So make sure you guys subscribe, and you can subscribe to the channel and you can subscribe to the website. So, get your name in the mix, man. We're going to have that giveaway when we hit that 500,000. And, if I don't get to all your questions, don't feel offended. I get a lot of questions, man, so I can't get to all of them, but I try to answer as many as possible. And I try to have other people answer some prison talk questions as well. That way you get a different perspective, because everybody's perspective of prison is not the same. Shout out to Young Dirt from Del Paso Heights. Just interviewed him about a week ago. His interview will be dropping probably late December, early January. Good dude, did 17 years. We're going to be, dropping his interview real soon. We're also going to be dropping some music stuff for you guys. Dex, check out his interview on the channel. He's a rapper out of Sacktown. He's going to be, dropping some dope-ass videos with us. So check it out, man. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff. Really trying to branch out and be entrepreneurial with Fresh Out, man. Not just talk about fucking prison, but talk about how you can get money after prison. So, let's see what you guys have to say. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Thanksgiving's going to be coming up real soon. Hopefully you can be around your family, loved ones, you know what I mean? And really be enjoying life, man. That's what it's about. It's not about having a bunch of fucking drama. Shout out to Manny Perez. Thank you for the donation. Make America bust cheeks. I hear you, man. Hey, brother, busting female cheeks, man, is a beautiful thing. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just don't bust in the wrong coochie, because when you get a little baby by a broad who's a fucking head case, you'll regret it. You know what I mean? So be careful who you bust your little ones in. Women's Prison Talk. We're going to have actually a female doing an interview real soon. We got a female who has a pretty crazy life. We just recently interviewed her, and her interview will be dropping, I think, December. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Somebody wanted me to talk about the porn game. Man, the porn game, man, it changed a whole lot, man. You know, I have some stuff that I talk about for the Super Chat members in the community tab for that's a little bit more exclusive and explicit, because YouTube, I can't get really explicit because of the kids. So I can't get into detail, but the porn game ain't like what it used to be. A lot of the girls, man, are basically, they're prostituting, you know what I mean? And it's just, the game doesn't, it's just it's oversaturated, man, you know? So it's not like it was back when I first got into it in the 90s, you know what I mean? That's years ago, you know? So game has really changed. Hey, shout out to everybody I seen at SEMA. There's a lot of guys I seen at SEMA, man. Shout out to all you guys who came up to me, who took pictures with me. Really appreciate you guys, man. It's great to be interacting with the fans and knowing that people are actually supporting what we're doing. We're trying to give a positive spin on life. You know, I don't glamorize this prison shit. I don't glamorize any of the crimes I committed, man. It's nothing to brag about. I just try to share. You know, there was even a police officer at SEMA who watches the show. Shout out to Las Vegas Police Department. You know what I mean? And it was cool, man, because I'm not knocking law enforcement. There are some good people out there. You need them out there to some degree to, you know, keep the pieces of shit away from our kids and our families. But like I said, I'm just trying to educate you, man. I don't want you to go to prison. I want you to be smarter than I was, make better choices, and enjoy life, man. You know what I mean? If you have somebody that you want us to interview, shoot us an email at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com, or you can message us on the website, and we'll try to get to them. I mean, we're pretty much booked up to December. We're going to try to travel maybe around February to Portland or Seattle. So if you're up in that area, hit us up. Maybe we can try to get you in on an interview. Shout out to brother Wayne. You know, my homeboy, you know, just got on not too long ago. Good dude. You know what I mean? Really looked out for me when I was down. And, you know, it feels good to be able to return the favor. But, you know, you want to have people around you that are solid, 100. You know, people who are support you and your ideas and who are positive. So whoever you have around you, make sure you have the right people around you. But we will try to get out and get, you know, and try to travel and meet more people, man. We were in New York, but I didn't get to really holler at anybody there. It was in and out. But I'm sure to make another trip on the East Coast sometime next year, and hopefully I can get some of you guys in some interviews. I heard about the Florida felons got their voting rights back. Congratulations to them. Hopefully they can change some of those laws out there, because Florida's a fucking prison state, just like Texas, just like California. So hopefully they can open some doors and change some of the public policy there in Florida, so that those guys don't have to sit in prison for all those years, man. You know, and they can, you know, change some stuff for the better. What do you think about John V? I don't know who that is. Big U from the 60s. You know what? I would like to interview Big U, man. I've seen he's been on Vlad. I don't have any direct contact with him. If anybody knows Big U, you know, send him a message. Hopefully we can get at him. I would love to get him on the show. I know he's an OG, and he has a lot of positive things to spit out there, you know, that these youngsters would like to hear. Well, Mexico, I haven't been out there to do any interviews. IB Quiffin, what's up, man? Thanks for the donation. Your comments a little much, though. I don't want to really get into that. I'm gonna do all the shout outs at the end. I'm gonna give shout outs to everybody, who represents their city. And I'll just leave that to the end though. So shout outs will be coming though. Hey Big Herc, your channel helped motivate me through my battle with cancer. Keep up the positive work. Hey man, I'm glad that we could inspire you. I know there's days out there that's rough for all of us, that we feel like life is challenging us. And on those days, sometimes you got to just let go of everything and just be thankful for your current condition and try to meditate so that you don't do anything stupid. So, hey man, shout out to you, man. Thoughtbot. How do people with mental illness get by in prison? People with mental illness most likely are sent to a mental ward or mental institution. They have mental institutions for inmates who have disabilities, who are mentally challenged. So you're not going to see a person who's really mentally messed up on a main line of a serious USP. They'll do a psych evaluation and get them out of there. So yeah, they're not going to be interacting like that. Somebody said the Michigan Department of Corrections, it's pretty hard to get a cell phone. Bro, just stay out here with us. If I beat this assault case, I'll push hard to take the motivation life lessons you give and turn my life around for me and be the role model for my kids that old man never was for me. That's right, man. Hopefully you beat your assault case, bro. And, the most important thing is being an example for your kids. I mean, I never had an example for myself, so I had to try to look elsewhere to find someone to give me life lessons. And as a result, I made a lot of mistakes, man. So hopefully, you can be a good example for your kids, Aaron Witter, thanks for the donation. Big Herc, did you see them talking about you on the Bonfire podcast? Talking about cheek busting on the Native American in a prison. No, I didn't hear about that. Man. Thanks for the donation, though. I love your channel. It keeps me thinking positively when things get hard. From Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, man, you gotta just you gotta just look beyond what today is and think about your tomorrow, man. And if you do that, you'll see like a brighter future, and you'll think more positive about life. A lot of times we make rash decisions, man. You know what I mean? When did the show air when you went to New York? Oh, that won't probably, when I went to New York, I shot some stuff. That won't probably drop until March. And when it does drop, I'll give everybody a heads up. Of course, we'll be talking about it on the show. So, believe that. I'll let you guys know. G Firm 456, man. Thanks for the donation. Love you, my brother. Hey, man, much love back to you, man. You know what I mean? Thank you for representing, man, and supporting us, man. We try to keep the positive message, man, because there's a lot of ignorance out there. And I hate to see these youngsters run around with these pistols, man, doing stupid shit. Big Herc, your thoughts on Whitey Bulger? Man, Whitey Bulger, man, they fucking beat the shit out of him, man, to the point where his eyeballs popped out. You know what I'm saying? They punished him. Now, Whitey Bulger, he murdered a lot of people, man. He had a lot of bad karma. He's playing both sides. He was a motherfucking rat, and he was fucking selling drugs and committing murder and all type of shit. And his death, man, was probably retribution for how he killed some of the people he killed. There was a story I was just listening to on Joe Rogan talking about when they had killed a certain individual. They had basically broke every bone in this person's body with a hammer. And every time the person would pass out, they would inject him with cocaine to wake him back up so that he continue to crush his bones. I mean, for somebody to be that masochistic, that's pretty sick, bro. I mean, Whitey Bulger, man, he was a piece of work. It wasn't like he's a hero, you know what I mean, based on the things I've read and just, you know, the things I've heard. So, dude, that, you know, that's what happens, man. In a wheelchair or not, man, somebody got at his ass and punished him. Manly 1979, thanks for the donation. Big Herc, who you taking in Wilder versus Fury? If Wilder takes Fury, you take Wilder versus Joshua? Oh, of course, man. I'm a Wilder fan. All day long, man. When Wilder and Fury, man, I want to see Wilder's going to put hands. Wilder's a fucking animal, man. That guy's an inspiration. Think he's a great guy, man, taking care of his daughter. And I want to see him get to that Joshua Anthony fight, man. And he's going to go up in there, man, like a fucking, a beast, man, like a fucking panther. And Joshua Anthony ain't ready for that, man. What are your thoughts on school shootouts? What advice should I give my kids? You know, the school stuff, man, when you got these fucking little punks, man, just be conscious of people around you. You know, a lot of kids don't have street smarts now like they did when I was growing up. You'd kind of look at people and you would take notice if somebody was a little weird or a little different. But just make your kids aware of their surroundings so that way they won't be taken by surprise and they can somewhat be prepared for situations, because a lot of fucking weirdos out there, man. Somebody's asking about the Dun-Dun-Dun shirt. Hey, man, we got some stuff we're working on. I don't know when we're going to come out with a Dun-Dun-Dun shirt, though. Suave, he's back on deck, but we got a lot of stuff going on, so I'll eventually try to get him back on the show when he has some free time. Thanks to you, I changed my job interest into being juvenile PO and help rehabilitate kids instead of incarcerate them, brother from the street, and just want to do my part. Love, Michigan. Hey, man, that's great, man. I'm glad you decided to work with the kids, man, and try to positively change their lives. You know, because kids make mistakes, man. You can't write a kid off. A kid makes a mistake, and you don't want to write them off and send them into the carnage of prison, man, and ruin them. You know, a lot of kids go to prison, man, and once they're in prison, it's over for them, man. They get caught up in the gangs, and it's just a horrible thing, man. Herc, you need to interview Bosco 100. I know Bosco he be going in on it. I ain't got a line on Bosco yet, but yeah, man, Bosco be having me rolling. How true are martial arts treated in the feds? Do those guys run training sessions for their people? I think it would be an eye-opener for the youth if you do a series called Life After Juvie. Well, I've been to Juvie, man, so, I mean, all they got to do is watch the channel. I mean, Life After Juvie is no different than Life After the Penitentiary, man. You basically change your surroundings as far as your friends. The people you hang out with are the most detrimental to your fucking future. The people, look around you, man. The people you've hung around with, where are they going in life? What do their parents do? What do they talk about when they have casual conversation? Take into account all those elements and sit down and write it down. What each one of your friends is about. And that'll tell you a lot about whether or not you should continue to associate with the people you call your friends. You know, and as far as martial arts, how they're treating feds, hey, man, you don't come into the feds or any jail bragging about the martial arts you know. All you do is you mind your business, keep your mouth shut. And if you got to put down a demonstration, you put down a demonstration. It's no different than when you're on the street. You don't walk around the streets bragging about how many wigs you can split. If you got to split a motherfucking wig, you split the wig. Oh, yeah, and another thing I forgot to mention to you guys. I've talked about it before, but lock in the sock. They said that whoever beat Whitey Bulger had a lock in the motherfucking sock. So that lock in the sock, man, is no fucking joke. That motherfucker right there, man, if a person's coming at you with a fucking knife, you have a lock in that motherfucking sock and you get to swing at that motherfucker, that shit is like some nunchucks. It'll neutralize the situation. So, yeah, man, that lock and sock put took what fucking Whitey Bulger out the game, man. Bro, I'm from East Palo Alto, and I got with a girl, got a house and a car, and I'm chilling. Everyone's hating, but now I'm free with everything, and everyone hating is locked up. That's right, man. That's right. You know what I mean? Hey, enjoy your life, man. Chill with your girl. Build you a future, man. And, man, keep doing your thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Witter, thanks for the donation. Big Herc, love the Bounce Back B interview. Hey, man, thank you, man. Appreciate that. We got more coming, man. We're gonna have some other dope interviews with other people, man. So, you know, stay tuned. It's only gonna get better. X-Rated is coming soon, so you guys make sure you stay tuned. We're gonna get them in the mix too. And no, I'm on shit. You're a car guy. What do you think about 96 Cadillac Sedan DeVille? 96 Cadillac Sedan DeVille, if you're going to make a lowrider, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, depending on what you're trying to do, you can't really pro tour it. It's not really a hot rod. It's got the, I believe the, I can't remember the motor it has in there, man. But yeah, it's not really a car that you're going to do any major, you know, performance enhancements to. So if you're going to lowrider it, cool, or customize it. If you're going to go performance, go 96 SS Apollo or 96 Corvette. You know, it depends on what you're trying to do. Was boxing allowed in prison like Bernard Hopkins did? Shout out from Chi-Town, Hermano Herc. Nah, there was no boxing, man. You couldn't openly box in prison. The guards don't want you to have any hand skills. That's why they took the weights. See, motherfuckers used to be in the pen with 24-inch arms, 22s, 23s, swole as fuck. And the guards, man, shit. These cats, man, they, you know, a lot of them weren't working out, or they wouldn't try to deal with these fucking barbarians, so they got the weights up out of there, man. A lot of institutions, there is no more weights. So unless you're at a camp, you cannot get buff off of weights anymore. And that's because they just don't want people to be in shape like that. You know what I mean? Have you ever talked to Freeway Ricky Ross before? I think a collaboration with y'all would be a super dope. I haven't talked to Freeway Rick, man. I ran across people who know him, but I haven't had the opportunity to actually interview him. Yeah, somebody said the North Star engine. Yeah, the North Star engine, man, you can't really do a whole lot with that motor. And I believe those cars were front-wheel drive. I don't even know if they're rear-wheel. I know some of those Cadillacs with the North Star were front-wheel. Or maybe they were rear-wheel. I can't remember, but I would say you want to go anything with an LS. And like I said, it all depends on what you're trying to do with your car. For those of you out there who are into cars, check out Big Herc 916 on YouTube. I got a lot of shit about cars. I was at SEMA, a lot of shit about SEMA. Check it out. I'm a big car guy, and I'm gonna start doing more car stuff on this channel too. But you know, on Big Herc 916, I'm all about the positivity, motivation, and I try to talk about things a little bit different than what I talk about on this channel. We started the Fresh Out series in 2013, so we've been doing it for 5 years now. Lincolns or Cadillacs? Cadillacs, man. Old school Cadillacs from the 60s are the shit. Lincolns is hard too, but the Cadillacs is the shit from back then. Big Herc, have you ever heard of an inmate owning gold or silver in some way to avoid taxes or something like that? Nah, you can buy gold and silver though. Anything under $10,000 is not reportable, so you can actually buy under $10,000 worth of gold, and you're not taxed on it because it's actual substance. And anytime the economy takes a dump, gold, silver, platinum are good things to invest in. You want to have something that's gonna hedge inflation, and commodities like that are basically precious metals. They have intrinsic value. So those actually always keep their value as opposed to the dollar. It's fiat money. It has no value. It's based on the consumer confidence. And for those of you who don't know, you guys need to read up on that, what a Federal Reserve note is. Do your homework, man. You know what I mean? Do your homework. I'm not going to really get into in-depth here, but learn about the fiat, the Federal Reserve note. Learn about the difference between intrinsic value and numismatic value. You know what I mean? Tell you a lot about the economy, man. Have any of your guests had on your show go back to prison after you interview them? Yeah, man. There was a guy, I believe he did an interview, and a little while after that, he got violated for something bullshit. And I haven't had a chance to have him back on the show, so I'm not going to mention his name because I would rather have him speak on it. But yeah, there hasn't been a guest who did actually go back to prison after the show for a violation. And I'm going to try to get him back on the show when I have the opportunity. But I don't want to put him on blast right now. Alex Starvo, thanks for the donation. What happens if a female guard catch you trying to gun her down? Oh, if a female guard catches you trying to gun her down, and gunning means that you're popping your penis up in there, man. You know what I mean? You're playing with the motherfucking fiddle. You get caught with that. You get caught playing with your fiddle in front of a female guard. You're going to the hole. And they might even send the motherfucking goons up in there to beat that ass because it's considered a sexual assault. If you expose yourself to a female guard, they can actually charge you with sexual assault. So you don't want to get caught gunning down any females. Larry Holmes on his show asking about when he ran and jumped off that car and tried to kick Trevor Burbank. Are you talking about the homie that did time for conspiracy? You probably know then. You probably know what's up. I ain't gonna mention no names. Hey, Big Herc, I listen to your channel because my man let me know about your motivational work and it helps people thinking. Hey, man, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Big Herc, how old are you? Oh, man, I'm in my 40s, homie. Fiat money, what money? There you go. If you know about fiat money, you know what I'm talking about then. Who's the biggest guy you've seen in prison? What race? I've seen a lot of big guys, man. I mean, you don't really walk around staring at motherfuckers, but I've seen some motherfuckers up in there, some motherfucking animals, I know a motherfucker who used to rep 4 wheels like it wasn't shit. He'd crank out reps of 405 for, 15, 20 reps. You got some dudes in there with cog diesel. I knew a dude, he wasn't even super big. He was swole. He probably had like some 20-inch arms, but I seen him back arm 2 wheels on a straight bar. 225 on a straight bar, skull crushers. And for those who don't know, skull crushers, with 225 with a regular benching bar, that's a motherfucking monster. This motherfucking man was gunned the fuck up. Yeah. Old Leatherfoot, thanks for the donation. Big Herc, you the man. Where's Big V, homie? We need more spreads. I know, man. I've been trying to get Big V back on the show. He's been hella busy. Shout out to the Chef V. That's the homie. He's like my brother, and I'm still in touch with him, man. It's just that our schedules haven't been able to work right now. Evil Table, thanks for the donation. Saw a prison documentary where a guy talked about how he loved hunting for chomos to split their wigs. Anyone like that when you were in prison? I didn't run across anybody like that, but if a motherfucker, see, this is the thing. If you find out motherfucker's a chomo, you have a duty to almost split his wig, man. I'm sorry to say, man, but you're not gonna openly know about a chomo walking the yard at any of the spots I was at, and he's not gonna get his wig split by somebody. It's like if you know and you didn't do nothing, then you might get your wig split. I mean, I was at USP Long Park with no motherfucking chomos walking the yard there. I never see no chomos. I was at Sheridan FCI. I didn't see no fucking chomos. I told you guys before, there was a story where there was a guy, they found out that he had something to do with something Chomo related. Older white guy, you know what I mean, looked really nerdy. You would never, worked in a law library. And man, they put a broomstick up his ass, man. And they said the room had blood everywhere. The natives punished his ass, the Native Americans. So, if you know about a Chomo, man, if you have a duty. I don't know how it is in some other states, maybe other institutions, it's different, but you weren't playing cards with a Chomo, you weren't busting spreads, you weren't kicking it, you didn't have that kind of relationship with no Chomos. Not in any of the spots I went to. Big Herc, you know any Samoans in Sacramento? You know what, back in the day, I knew some. It's been a long time. When I was like 18, 19, somehow towards, where was that at? Out towards Walegra. There were some Samoans, I think there were some Tongans out there that were Crips. And I actually knew he was Tongan. I knew a Tongan that was a Crip that was from the Heights back in the day. But yeah, there was some out there, but man, it's been so long. But I was cool with the ones I was out there in Walegra. They used to have some guys out towards Walegra, which is right next to North Highlands. That was back in the days, though. That was like in the early 90s. G-Firm, thanks for the donation, man. 456. How do you think Carmine Persico is living in the federal system? Oh, man. Carmine was at Lompoc USP when I was there. And, he was already an old guy, man. And you never would have known that this guy was a fucking major figure in the mob world, by looking at him. But I don't know how he's living now. I mean, they moved all those guys out of Lompoc. I know he had a lot of time. I think he had a life sentence. I'm not sure, but he was just a quiet guy, man. He did his thing. Nobody fucked with him, and he was just like anybody else out there, man. Just kind of just doing his thing, low key and minding his business, man. I don't know how he's doing in the system now, man. When I seen Carmine, it was like 2000, 2001. I was in the same unit with him. El Moncio, thanks for donation. What's up with Blackie from Sun Valley? Oh, man, Blackie's going to be on the show. Shout out to Blackie from Sun Valley. We're actually going to interview him in the next couple of weeks. So be looking for him to be on our show. You know what I mean? We reached out to him. He reached out to us. And we're going to get out, man. He's going to be on the Big Herc show, man. So I look forward to having Blackie on the show, man. Shout out to you, man. Joshua Thomas Richardson, thanks for the donation. I'm not going to respond to your thing, though, man. You with the bullshit, I think, man. I ain't with the bullshit. How do you know if an inmate can't be helped or can't be changed? How do you know if an inmate can't be helped or can't be changed? I mean, just listen to him talk. Listen to the conversation. See, if you're a grown man and you're still talking about bullshit, you're still talking about gang banging, you're still talking about getting out, robbing motherfuckers and pressing motherfuckers, and you're not really talking about anything. I mean, everybody in life has their own level of what they're going to live at. You can't force a person to be anything more than they want to be in life. So if a person wants to be a gangster, they're going to be a gangster, man. If a person's trying to change, they're going to talk about change and positivity and all that good stuff, man. But just listen to the conversation, man. That'll tell you whether or not a person wants to change. Just listen to what comes out their mouth and then peep game on their actions. Time for the shout-outs. You know what I'm saying? Shout-outs to everybody. Shout-out to Sacktown, Roseville, North Highlands, South area, Oak Park, Del Paso Heights. Mark Davis, thanks for the donation. Shout out to all the Super Chat members. Wardison 10, thanks for the donation. What's the max you've benched? 405. Like your channel from Seattle. Shout out to Seattle. Shout out to North Hollywood. Shout out to San Diego. Shout out to Antioch, East Sacramento, Glendale, Maine, Westside Detroit, England, the Dun 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 crew. Chris Master, thanks for the donation, man. Shout out to you, man. Trying to keep it positive with the good work. Shout out to East Palo Alto, 6650. Shout out to Mississippi, Stockton, 209. El Paso, 818. Winnipeg, Merced, California, 504. P-Town, Virginia, Coachella, North Hollywood, U.S. Army. Shout out to the men serving our country. U.S. Army, all right. Shout out to you. Portland, Oregon. Guanajuato. Houston, Texas. Beijing, China. Toronto, Canada. Florida. Phoenix, Arizona. Georgia. Colorado Springs, Colorado. New Mexico, 575. Tijuana, 229. San Jose, ATL, 680. Alabama, Biloxi, Mississippi. Scotland, Washington, D.C. U.S. Marines. That's right. Hoorah! Y'all getting it in, man. Y'all some fucking gangsters for real, man. Marines be putting in work. Lived on a military base, man. I could see the Marines training. When I was young, I was like, man, I got to work out like the Marines, man. Them motherfuckers be putting in work. Corona, shout out to you. Matt, thanks for the donation, man. Did you hear about the wig of the Nazi who ran over and killed that girl in Charlotte? Oh, man, I didn't hear about that, man. Did you hear about people donating to Patreon for inmate commissary to split the wig of the guy who ran over? I didn't hear about that, man. It's crazy shit, man. Shout out to Dawson Creek, British Columbia, San Marcos, California, Compton in the house, Baltimore in the house, Beatmore, Vancouver, SFV, Long Beach. Marines, you mean Army, hoorah. What is the Marines? I thought it was the Marines, for the, man, maybe I got it mixed up, man. Shout out to both of them, though, because they both put in work. You know what I mean? You know, Army be putting in work. The Rangers, the Marines be putting in work. Hey, man, all y'all, man. All y'all be putting in work. Y'all gangsters, man. Marine is hoorah. I had it right. Hoorah, man. Come on, y'all. Shout out to Richmond. Hey, man, Columbus, Ohio. Everybody, man, who tuned in tonight, man. I love y'all. Kansas City, Germantown, Maryland, Syracuse, New York. Hey, man, all the people serving our country in the military. I love y'all. We'll be hitting some spots in 2019. I'll probably be at the Dub Show in LA. So if you guys are going to go to the Dub Show in LA, we're going to have a booth. Probably a couple dope-ass whips out there. Holler at Fresh Out. We'll be there. If you want to do an interview, hit us up. Let us know what's up. FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. I apologize if I don't answer all your questions. It's a lot of shit, man, to go through. A lot of emails, a lot of correspondence. But I'm going to try to hit multiple car shows. I don't know what I'm going to hit up in Sac. I'm going to try to get a meet and greet out there, too, my hometown. I'd love to attend a car show. If you guys have anything jumping off, a special event, give me a holler. I'll see if I can make it. New Zealand in the house. New Orleans in the house. Man, everybody, man, love y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. I'm out. Tune in next week, man. And it's all good, man.